Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, the case of the missing server. Power is off but work anyway. I can't remove voiceover, sir. What do you mean you don't know everything that concerns my own job? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. The case of the missing server. You all thought I was going to leave you hanging there, didn't you? Don't worry, the IT guy would never do that to a bunch of strangers on the internet. So, just to review, the guy who was supposed to be on call got fired Monday morning for failing, officially, performance issues, but unofficial, because he was a jerk too many times. I show up to a round of high fives because people think I advocated for getting the guy fired, when it was instead the site manager who had a beef with him. Doesn't really matter now. It looks like actually no one who currently works there actually likes the guy, and it is like I just landed a big giant house on the big bad witch of the East. Whatever, I'll take it. But that leaves me, your friendly IT services consultant, still with a job to do. When can you deploy that server? The site manager throws at me in the late afternoon. As soon as you can find it. Yeah, no one seems to know where it might have gone. Can you check the fancy hardware location application? Going to be vague with this one for corporate reasons, logs, and see if it has any history? Sure, wasn't aware you had that kind of visibility on the equipment. Where can I get access? I emailed corporate security to have them create you a login, and you should be able to find the machine profile by doing a search for the asset tag. Okay, I've never used or really even heard of this system, but I'm sure I can figure it out. Yeah, IT guy, I'm sure you can. Location. Okay, I've got to be a little vague here, because what I will call an asset tracking system is fancy, and I don't want to even hint at anything that might touch a non-disclosure. I've never seen anything like it. Looks custom to a capital C, and like someone high up at one point in time had some OCD about hardware, corporate espionage, or security, or something, then threw a ton of money at a solution. Anyway, trust me. This thing is nice. So, just as the site manager said, I get my login credentials, pop the asset tag into a query, and poof, the whole profile is right there. Has a history of checking in on the internet, and hey look, there are even GPS coordinates. This ought to be easy as long as the GPS is accurate. Those coordinates aren't anywhere close to any of our offices. I think to myself. Looking at Google Maps, it sends me to a residential section of town about 30 minutes away. That can't be right. I can see the delivery confirmation here in the profile. This isn't on the back of some truck still out for delivery. I continue thinking as I mull over the possibility. The GPS location is solidly in a house, so I do a quick property tax record search to see who might be the owner of that address, and poof, it all makes sense. I'll be a problem if this is right. The address comes back to one owner, Mr. I got fired this morning. Quickly, I think my options are: call the site manager and tell him I think the server has been stolen. Call corporate security and make a report. Hey, I have the guy's number from the weekend, I can just give him a call and see if he will give me the server. Yeah, I know I should have done option number 1 or number 2, but I'm feeling frisky for some reason. Figure might as well text him and give him a chance to give up the goods. Guy has already had a bad day, last thing he needs to do is catch a theft charge on top of it all. Maybe he had a legit reason why he took it home. Hey, this is the IT guy. So I start a text. IT guy, hey, this is XXXXXX. You yelled at me this weekend when I called asking if you could help me locate a server. Security software is showing it at your house. If you have it for whatever reason, just drop it back off at the office. All I want to do is get this thing in production tonight. Jerk guy, I don't have sh*t. IT guy, fine by me. I'm going to report it to corporate security and the police. Jerk guy, wait, I might have something, but I didn't steal it. Had it to do some work and needed, long, desperate explanation here. IT guy, look, I don't care why you might have had it. I just need to have it and tonight. If it appears and everything looks good, I don't care how it shows up. Jerk guy, okay, so if I drop it off you are fine with this just going away. IT guy, look, I'm not going to lie if asked, but in my mind all that people need to know is that the server has been properly installed. Jerk guy, I'll drop it off, location at side of building, after hours tonight. Okay, before you security guys jump all over me. The thing was going to get completely wiped anyhow, and I made sure there was no tampering. This guy was not some kind of criminal mastermind looking to defraud the company. I think he just had an expensive piece of hardware, and after getting axed probably was planning on keeping it. About 2 hours later. Jerk guy, server is by the side door. I kept my part of the bargain, please keep yours. Sweet irony. In the end, the on-call guy still found me the server and ended up personally delivering it. All that it cost him was his job, which was probably in doubt anyhow since he was a jerk. There was something wholly ironic, or maybe that isn't actually irony Alanis Morissette anyone, about him ultimately finding it for me. But, I digress. Server was still in the box, sealed. I spent the next few hours getting it up and running. Emailed the site manager that night to tell him the job was done, and was just going to leave it at that unless asked for further details. The next morning. That was some quick work, IT guy, where was the server? I found it by the side door. Huh, that is strange. Maybe one of the guys moved it thinking it was something else. Yeah, who knows? Anyway, job is done. What is in store for the rest of the week? Thanks, IT guy. I've got a few more projects for you to tackle over here. Power is off but work anyway. This is one that just demonstrates general management silliness. At the time this happened I ran the support staff for a computer-intensive department at a university. Our building was offices, labs, administration, no classrooms at all. One summer there was construction going on to the building next door to our building, and a backhoe managed to cut through an underground power cable that fed our building. Luckily no one was hurt, but apparently the upstream transformer was damaged, in addition to the power cable being cut. Our building was also the hub for power for 3 other buildings, so those 3 buildings had no power either. It took only a couple of minutes for us to figure out what had happened, and various administrators started calling around to see if they could send us home. This was summer in the southwest US, so the building started getting hot and stuffy. None of the windows could be opened anywhere in the building. And of course we had NO lights, NO computers, NO elevators, NO network. Word came back from the Grand Puba administrators. Everyone should work as best they can, hoping that the power would be restored quickly. So we did. I went to my office, put my back to a window, and read some technical articles in a trade magazine. While the building got hotter and hotter. Some folks went outside and camped out in the shade. All our admin tools were only available online, plus the temperature in the building was climbing by the minute. Outside temp was probably around 100 F. Then we got the word that our campus electricians, working with the local power utility, were saying they might not be able to get a replacement transformer until the next day. It wasn't noon yet and people were getting pretty pissed off at being told to hang around doing nothing, just because no one in higher admin wanted to take responsibility for putting us all on administrative leave for half a day. Supposedly this had budgeting implications, like closing the campus due to snow. Then the batteries on the emergency lights in the stairwells started to fail. This cranked up the possibility of folks being injured, which really made the admin folks nervous. Vision of workers' comp claims, lawsuits, bad media coverage started making the rounds. I actually didn't mind hanging around since once power was restored I was going to have to make sure all my servers came back up properly, so I didn't want to drive home and have to turn around and drive back. But finally we got the word, we were all released to go home, and everyone needed to provide a contact number so they could update us later. These were the days before everyone had a cell phone. I was halfway home when I got a call on my cell, power was back up. It had been maybe a bit over an hour since they sent us home, no idea how they fixed it so fast. I could come back if I wanted or wait until the next day. I turned right around and headed back. I knew I needed a couple of hours to make sure everything was back to normal. So everything was back to normal by end of business and no one got hurt, but seeing the buck passing going on with administration over a common sense issue was eye-opening. I can't remove voiceover, sir. Another weirdly endearing story from our older generation of customers. As a recap from my other stories, I work in the tech team for a broadband, TV, and landline provider. Meaning when something is struggling to work, I help fix it. We also are asked to help with billing sometimes too. An elderly gent called up and explained to me that I'm watching a TV program, but there's a man explaining what's happening on the screen. How do I turn it off? I asked if he has subtitles on. He said no. There was a male voice explaining what was happening on the TV screen. I asked him to change his channel to see if it's happening on his other programs, and the answer is no. I then explained to him that some TV shows air things with people explaining what's going on for visually impaired people, so they know what's going on. The customer asked me if there was a way to turn it off. I had to explain for the next 5 minutes that it's not a setting. The show was taped that way, like when you watch a documentary with animals, they add the voice over it, and it wouldn't affect his other shows. He eventually understood and thanked me before hanging up. Bless him, I wanted to hug him. What do you mean you don't know everything that concerns my own job? Here's another rant I need to get off my chest, as it happened to me yesterday yet again. I work at a big company with multiple departments and 10 times as many employees. We provide technical support for all of them, yet most of the time I struggle trying to figure out what exactly they need help with. Reports, there are thousands generated every hour, every day, every week. Client reports, status reports, daily reports, weekly reports, quarterly reports, etc. We have many systems that generate the reports, and many ways we can generate them. It can be a simple scheduled data source which spits out into a CSV the contents of a SQL query. It can be an actual report that was designed with a template and on regular basis gets the figures updated with the latest data. It can be a web panel export in Excel that is emailed to whoever the user wants because they can set those up themselves. Then there are Excel spreadsheets every team uses that can pull data via a SQL connection or a third-party add-in. Also, we have email notifications in HTML forms that have nice tables and graphics in them. I call them what they are: scheduled data sources, panel exports, spreadsheets, etc. So I can keep track of which system generates them and how. For the users, however, they're just reports. So yesterday, a user reaches out via Teams. $user, hey, I need help with the $generic name report. $me, what $generic name report? Can you be a bit more specific? $user, the Department X, $generic name report. $me, I'm going to need more than that. Is this a report generated by $System A or by $System B? Is it an Excel file or a PDF? Do you get it via email or do you consult it via $web portal? $user, it's the afternoon $generic name report that is sent to Department Y. $me. I still don't know what you're talking about. $user sends me a path on one of the shared drives where analysts save all their documents. $user, it's this $generic name report. $me, finally getting somewhere. I see. Yeah, this isn't a report any of our systems generate. This is manually created by analysts. You need to ask whoever owns this to help you. $user, okay, thanks. Sometimes I wonder how small people think our company is. Or maybe users think the world revolves around them and fail to realize there are other departments that deal with other sh*t, and I cannot know every single aspect of everyone's roles.